Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, today we're going to talk about nosotros commands. As a review, remember we had two commands, and we started with affirmative two commands. And to make an affirmative two command, like the verb run, you're going to just use the third person singular of the indicative. Okay, so corre. If I have a negative two command, then that's when we have to start using the subjunctive. Remember we had no coras. We had to put it in the O form, drop the O, and add the opposite ending for the two, no coras. Then we learned usted commands, which was also the subjunctive. So if I had the verb correr, we said cora. And then the ustedes commands is corran. Okay, it's all been subjunctive. And that's what we're going to talk about as well with the nosotros commands. When we command the we form to do something, it's just like saying let's. Let's do this or let's not do that. And that's what we call a nosotros command. You don't just say, I command that we run. You say, let's run. Okay. You're going to use the first person plural, the subjunctive. So that's just the subjunctive in the nosotros form. Okay. And all those irregular verbs, like before we've talked about how we have the irregular yo form, drop the O. It's going to follow. It doesn't do everything but the boot. It's still going to follow it to the nosotros commands. So the verb decir is digo. If I said, let's tell the truth, digamos la verdad. Okay, remember, I do want you writing this in pencil this time around. And I'm telling this also to my Spanish 3 independent study. That way you guys are writing it, and it's not a distraction with the iPad in front of you. So I want your iPads docked, and you're writing it down. Okay, so for let's tell the truth, digamos la verdad, it's just the nosotros of the verb decir in the subjunctive. Oops, let me go back. Give you a chance to write it down. Uh-oh. There you go. Sorry about that. Okay, basically, nosotros commands with the subjunctive in the third person. Okay. All right. Here's where things get a little bit trickier. If you have a reflexive verb, you're going to drop the final S of the verb, okay, that command form, before you attach the reflexive pronoun. So if it's a nosotros command, what's the reflexive pronoun going to be? Nos. Very good. So, have you ever heard of vámonos? That's where it comes from. Okay? Vámonos is vamos. You drop off the S and you attach the nos on it. Except vamos is the indicative of the verb here, and that's the one exception we're going to talk about here in a second. Here's another example. Levantarse is to get up. Okay? Levantarse. To wake up, to get up, like get out of bed. And they're going to say, let's get up. So we have levantar. You drop the AR, add the O, drop the O, and you add the opposite ending. So the levantar is an AR verb. We add the amos ending. E-M-O-S. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, this is a touchy mouse. Okay, so we have levantemos, and you're going to add the nos. And so instead of saying levantemos nos, because remember you attach them on the affirmative commands, you drop off the S on levantemos, and you add the nos. Notice there's an accent in that levantémonos. Okay, because you want to maintain that same sound of the verb. And you want to keep that pronunciation consistent. So the E on that amos ending is now accented. Levantémonos. Anybody confused on how I got that? We use the subjunctive of levantarse. The AR verb, so we said levantemos. You have to have a nos ending, or affirmative, when you attach it, so you stick on that nos there. Levantémonos. Okay? Ir is the only exception where you have to use the indicative. Okay? So we just say vamos for let's go. No subjunctive whatsoever. I don't know why. because remember, ear in the subjunctive is vayamos, but it just goes to vamos. Okay? But here's the exception. When you're saying let's not do something, you have to put it back in the subjunctive. So only affirmative form of ear in the nosotros is the indicative, vamos. But if you're going to say let's not go, no vamos. Writing it down? Don't get confused.
What's vamonos?
Vamonos is a more of an emphasized way of saying vamos. Okay, because we can say irse, making it reflexive to say like I'm taking myself to a place. I don't know, me voy. You can just make it's one of those you can make reflexive for emphasis. All right, so as a review, for nosotros commands, to say let's do something, we use the subjunctive, except for the verb ir when it's affirmative, it's vamos. When ir is negative, it's no vayamos. If you're going to attach a reflexive pronoun, you drop off the S of that subjunctive form and you add the nos. Make sure you accent it. All right? And don't forget all those irregular things like cargars are verbs. They do maintain their spell changes. So sacar is saquemos. Writing this down, Alberto? Okay. Lots of new rules when it comes in nosotros form. Okay. Cargars are and gur all maintain their spell changes. Alrighty. Now we have to deal with stem changing verbs. I'm going to stop the video and then start it again to talk about stem changing verbs. So give me 1 second.